Hello, everybody, and welcome to DraftKings. That's right, this is DraftKings FC, and we are looking at Week 9 of the English Premier League. So, who's joining me, Ty Atkins, your host? Well, it's the same guys as it is every week, mostly. To my left here is DraftKings staff writer Jamie Hinks. Over the way there, we've got Edo Delamonte. That's right, he is our European football correspondent. And next to him, the humorist and Hertfordshire's favourite son, it's Andy Davies.
Hertfordshire.
There we go. He loves a bit of Hertfordshire, this man. That's why he lives in South London now. Right.
Kent.
Kent even?
Oh yeah, Becknam.
There we are. Well, we should talk about football now at this point, I think. And
My address away.
we're going to look at some matches. And the first match is, well, the big one. That's right. It's Jose's return to Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea at home to Manchester United. Guys, I'm super stoked about this. I'm very excited. Let's all have a little chat about how we think it's going to go. I'm going to start with Jamie. Jamie, how's this match going to go?
This is it goes without saying. I was going to say this is an interesting one. But it goes without saying that this is a very interesting game because I think people are getting a little bit too excited on Manchester United because I know they got a draw against Liverpool, but they still haven't. I think it's no wins in like 4 or 5 games now for Jose. He's kind of like Ibrahimovic has stopped scoring. I know he's managed to get Rooney out of the team, but it doesn't really seem to be happening at the moment. They drew with Stoke, and Stoke are pretty. They're not terrible, but they're not very good. Whereas Chelsea, third best home record in the league. Diego Costa's doing what we knew he was going to do, which is just score every single week when you can get him in that zone. And I know people are criticising them, saying, "Oh yeah, but they're having to play John Terry the whole time." I don't think he's played for the last couple of games, and they've played very, very well. So I don't know where that's all coming from, but I think Conte's stumbled across this formation that is tried and trusted, that he knows works. He's been able to just put these players in, and it seems to be working. Another interesting thing I saw earlier was that Matic has actually got 3 assists so far this season, which I was amazed at. Because
quietly going about his business.
Yeah, which I mean, it's like who needs Cesc Fabregas if you've got Matic can chip in with 3 assists. And yeah, I think if you're paying DFS this week, I think you've got to go Costa again because he's just you can't pick against him because he just scores every week.
He's not shy against the big defences.
No, exactly.
It could be a minnow or it could be a title contender. He's going to score.
And I don't. I can't just because of Jose's ego. I can't see him going to Chelsea and playing the same way as he did at Liverpool. I just can't see it, which I think he would need to do to stop them scoring because they're in a good place right now, Chelsea. And I think it's going to be battling out between these two and Liverpool for 4th place this season. I think Chelsea could edge this. I really do. I think Chelsea 2-1. I think they're just about got too much from Man United, and United have got a European game on Thursday night as well, whereas Chelsea are going to be rested up from last weekend, and that'll be a factor as well.
So a narrow victory for Chelsea. Jamie says interesting because around this table we all thought that Jose was going to really take it at Anfield. He was going to go for it. But he didn't. He went as conservative as could be.
Oh, yeah, we said 3-0. So.
There were some 3-0s here.
We did well there.
Well, it was a mental thing to say at the time.
It was, but then within 3 minutes of watching that game on Monday, I went, oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Jose's going to do
Jose's going to do this.
Of course he is, because he's Jose. So why wouldn't he do it on Sunday, even if it's a homecoming? Has he got a point to prove? Is his ego that big? Or does he just want to not lose like he did at Anfield? Edo Delamonte, you're a Chelsea man. Explain how you see this going to go.
Well, I still remember with blurry eyes, his first game at Chelsea in the Premier League was against Man United, against Alex Ferguson, and Idoka Johnson won it with a lovely header. Alexei Smertin started that day. Good days, good times. Anyway, so my problem with United as well is that a lot of people seem to have declined. It isn't just, Wayne Rooney. Anthony Martial has been kind of difficult to sort of recognise from the guy we saw last year. Paul Pogba, so far, it kind of in Italy seen as the kind of player that Juventus just got rid of at an incredible price. And we've really not seen a heck of a lot from him in midfield. The defence is the only thing that's kind of holding up. But there's a lot of question marks going into this game for Man United. Yeah, they haven't really convinced. The Liverpool game, all they did was just stuff them up, which I think Mourinho can do in these games. But yeah, I mean, maybe 3 years ago we'd have trusted Mourinho to pull off this kind of a game. 2 years ago we'd have said, oh, but it's a big game. Don't worry, he'll eke out a draw. He'll get a win. Now, a lot of us think he's lost his magic. And we've got more than 2 seasons worth of work to kind of prove that because he lost his, he kind of lost that touch at Real Madrid, went there to try and beat Guardiola and completely failed. I kind of worry about that. And I look at Chelsea and I look at this 3-4-3 and I think, well, Marcos Alonso is looking good. David Luiz is looking good. No, he's actually had 2 good games in a row now. Hazard is being pushed inside so he can sort of roam more freely. He's even said so. He's like, I'm happy with this. I've got less defensive work to do. He's really cool with that. And N'Golo Kante looks really good. Michy Batshuayi still comes in and kind of makes a difference. Yeah, I've got Chelsea edging this 1-0. It'll maybe be ugly. There'll be some hostility from the Chelsea fans, but I think the Chelsea have got just a little bit. There are too many questions, United side, for me. There's just too many.
There is, but I mean, even as a Chelsea fan, I don't think we've answered too many just yet. In my opinion, if Jose sets out to do what he did at Anfield, he will succeed. I do think that. I do think that Chelsea can be nullified.
Oh, yeah.
But Willie, Andy Davies.
It's a funny one with United because he's kind of been going about trying to set United up as some kind of underdog. and they're not. Underdogs don't go and spend sort of 90 million on Paul Pogba. It's like you're not an underdog, right? You've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic. This isn't. And going to Anfield and playing that way was very super defensive. It was an awful game, and I think he'll do the same at Chelsea because as Liverpool was a game he dare not lose, this is a game he dare not lose. It's not a question of winning. It's just a question of him just getting out of there with a point. And I think that'll be enough for Jose's ego, and that'll be enough for United. I think he wants United to be seen as the underdog because it gives him a bit of time. If Jose's going around saying, "Oh, look, we're a top 6, top 7 side. We're not the finished article. It's going to take time. It's going to take time." He'll get time. He'll get time from the media, and he'll get time from United fans, which is something that wasn't afforded David Moyes or Louis van Gaal. But it's what he does with that time. Man United are exactly the same position as they were at this stage last season. They don't seem to have got any better, any more interesting, or any more exciting, despite the additions of Paul Pogba, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and all the others. And that's down to the manager. That's down to Jose. And there's something about Jose at the moment. He just doesn't seem to have the. It seems to have lost that kind of nasty streak, that streak that would make him go to Chelsea and try and get something. And I don't think he will. I think he's going to go to Chelsea and try and get a point. This game won't stink as badly as Liverpool because I think Chelsea at home, Chelsea are going to have a little bit more of a sort of needle and a reason to beat United. There's a lot of Chelsea players that were upset with Jose last season and are going to want to teach him a little bit of a lesson, perhaps. Not that I'm suggesting that players get any extra motivation for certain games than they do others, but we could see with Chelsea last season, they certainly got a little bit of extra motivation once he'd buggered off. So, they might want to prove a point. It's going to be a Chelsea win. I think it's going to be a 1-0 or 2-0 win. I think United are pretty toothless up front at the moment. I think Chelsea can keep them out. I think Mourinho's going to come unstuck here. I've got this down as a Chelsea win.
Chelsea win for Andy Davies. Well, that's everyone. But what about me? I'm a Chelsea fan. I see it as being a 1-0. I can see it being ugly. I see a lot of cards in this game because you got players like Costa who gets cards anyway. That's just part of his game anyway. So, and he apparently might have a little bit of a grudge. Apparently Hazard does. There's about half that squad that do. This
also,
could be
interesting. Didn't Zlatan have quite a good record at Stamford Bridge for PSG and Inter and various teams?
Yeah. Yeah,
he's another guy
to throw in there.
He hasn't scored.
I mean,
weeks either, is he?
He hasn't, and he could score. I mean, really, for all you guys out there, all you guys out there using DraftKings, many players to choose from here. It could go any way. I do think it'll be quite a tetchy, explosive game, but probably not too many goals in it. But hopefully, for me at least, a Chelsea win. So, guys, loads of players on offer. You got a $50,000 budget. Go in there, select any players you like, play your friends. You can win prizes, and yes, you can win big. Welcome to the big time.